right, people, we are here for the semifinals of Battle Hub Draft League Season 6. Just 2 games this week, but they are 2 epic games. We're starting off with Abomination versus Zeus. We're here at the big time. Scorp, what do we think?
Absolutely. What's going on, everyone? My name is Scorpion, and semi-finals time. We're close to the end. There's 3 more battles left. These 2 and then the finals. Very, very looking forward to it. We've got the Choice Band Moltres again, Emerald. I'm really interested to see how that's going to do.
Choice Band Moltres versus a Cleavor.
Yeah, absolutely. But there is a very, very bold prediction from Al's side. But there is no fire resist on that side, you know, unless we get a Terrafire Executor. But yeah, going to be seeing Al immediately leading off with said Cleavor, probably predicting that. But Al counter leads it with Blastoise. This is actually kind of a situation that I kind of foresaw in this one. Because I know Al wants to keep rocks off at all costs, and this is kind of a solid spinner against Cleavor, so interested to see how this plays out.
Yeah, you know, this Blastoise going into 2 of Zeus's favorite mons, the Luxray and the Executor, not a very good defensive Pokemon to have, so having this to simply try to take the Cleavor out of the game, it's got the Rocky Helmet there, and it can Rapid Spin, and it should be just out of range of that helmet, right? I do believe so.
I believe so. We're going to see a close combat here, nearly taking the Blastoise out, but that does drop Cleavor's defenses, and the Rocky Helmet pushes it in range of Rapid Spin. So Al does indeed kind of pull this plan off perfectly, counter leads the Cleavor, and takes it out with no rocks. So great start for Al there. Just to see how Zeus now plays around this with no rocks.
Fantastic for the Moltres, of course. It does cost the Blastoise being weakened, but now just have to watch out and make sure, because having 2 sweepers on that opposing side, they just have to make sure that they keep them in check.
So we're going to see an Empoleon switch in now, which could potentially fit in with the weakness policy if Al wants to go for that Earthquake or a potential Body Press. Interestingly enough, actually, a little bit of background information. This Blastoise on Al's side is actually minus special attack nature to not kill the Cleavor with Surf there and be able to Rapid Spin afterwards. That was genius tech that actually worked out well. And also obviously increases the potential damage of Earthquake. We'll see if Empoleon wants to trade against here. Actually, he is faster and goes for a Flip Turn, so let's see how he switches into Empoleon now.
Yes, they do have the Electros there, which can just start coiling up potentially, being in a position where get some big damage into Zeus's team.
Agility this time, though, we're definitely more of a defensive Empoleon this week, which is always a good time. Gonna coil up now, though, as the stats are gonna rise, and Zeus is gonna opt to Flip Turn out. So we'll see how he now responds to this Electros. Now, they were able to knock off the leftover, so its longevity is crippled, but we do now have +1 attack and defense, and accuracy as well, so no Supercell Slam misses.
Yeah, that's huge. That's huge. And gotta be wary of the Skuntank. Zeus has usually tried to run some interesting sets in their Skuntank, so it'd be interesting to see what they're going to plan on doing here. It looks like Al might just try to go for another coil and continue to boost up in the meantime while it can.
Absolutely, because we know this these Electros is very, very specially bulky, and the coils boosting its defense is going to make it very, very difficult for this Skuntank to break through unless it has Toxic. But it does end up going for a Sunny Day, which sets up the Executor potentially, which is actually very, very scary this matchup. So let's see if we can find a way to pivot into. I mean, I know it's coming because I've seen the game, but hyping it up a little bit, you know?
Oh, yes, of course. And so the big memento here coming off of the Skuntank. So basically going to undo all the work that this Electros just did. I mean, it still has its accuracy and its defense boost, but that's not of much use here when this Executor is doubled in speed and hitting on the special side.
Absolutely. Executor now comes in with 6 Sun turns left remaining to work with here. Can terrestrialize itself as well to get out of that weakness to knockoff, and indeed it does. Al does opt to go for it, but we do see the terrestrialization into fire come off now, and we do also see that growth. So the same strategy that worked against Pokemaster 88 now being used even more aggressively, actually, very early into the game. But yeah, we're set up, Emerald. We're good to go. We have about like 2/3 of our HP remaining.
Yes, indeed. Yep. This time they don't need, because the Luxray was the support last time. This time they use Skuntank, which means even after this Executor mode, they still have a Luxray in the back. So right now, this Executor, is just going to start punching holes in Al's team. He's got to figure out what he's going to do. And it looks like right now, Electros is going to be the first to fall.
That crit absolutely did not matter, as we do see a Terra Blast come off now, which is going to smoke the Electros by a Sun boosted Terra Fire, Terra Blast. And now Al is kind of in the backseat, obviously. Zeus is absolutely set up with this Executor. There is no real switch since to its stab combination plus Terra Blast Fire. And Moltres, which could potentially be a good switch in. I mean, Executor gets Ancient Power, which Zeus is likely packing.
Yes,
So
he
we're going to have to
brought it in
switch
the
around a
first
little bit.
week when these two coaches faced off. He was able to stop Executor back then, but at this point now it appears to be might be too late, as we see the One Piece just utterly destroys this Uxie. I do believe that we saw, I think it was only like a 30% chance to kill or something, so it was a roll there, but still
this was a damage roll.
Out.
Yep,
that's huge.
Absolutely, that was a damage roll, unfortunately. Now, I don't really know what realistically could have been done there had the Uxie survived, because I don't believe it was packing Thunder Wave, but
well,
at least could have maybe
I think that they were just trying to encore it and then maybe get in the Diancie.
Yeah, get in Diancie or the Moltres, exactly. As Diancie is a bit too powerful, glitches the capture card, but we do... We are able to switch the Diancie in on a Terra Blast, luckily, which does stall out another turn. I think we only have like 2 or 3 turns to go. But unfortunately, Diancie is 2 KO'd, so there really isn't any reason for Zeus not to just click Terra Blast, as the Giga Drain is going to... The Giga Drain is going to both drain Diancie's life force and the life force of Al's capture card.
It's a crazy animation there coming off of the Giga Drain there, as now it just continues to try to just somehow switch it, sack off the Blastoise, of course, if they can. And is this the last turn of Sun, or is there one more?
I believe this is the last turn of Sun. Yep, it is. It does fade. But Emerald, I feel like the damage has already been done. We're down 2
Look at that, we're down to 2 Mons!
Yeah. Oh, sorry, down 2 to 4, but still.
Yeah, and even after this, we just know that they still have the Luxray in the back. Now, I will say that the Duraludon probably is the best equipped to be able to handle the Luxray, but it's just a tough situation to be in for Al.
Duraludon does actually handle Luxray really, really well, because it resists electric, it resists normal, and the only coverage Luxray gets to hit it is double kick, so that's not the strongest. Problem is, though, this Executor is actually not even in range of Brave Bird thanks to that Giga Drain, so we're going to have to actually U-turn out into the Duraludon and let it take even more damage before we're able to come back in with Moltres again and fire off that lethal Brave Bird. As yep, there's the Ancient Power. No boost, luckily.
Look at that Ancient Power damage. That is 60 base power resisted hit, still doing like 25%.
Well, I mean, let's not forget that Duraludon's special defense is absolute garbage.
Yeah, that's what I'm pointing out. Yeah, not able to tank it well. Thankfully, though, Duraludon is faster than you would expect, so it should be able to outspeed this thing. The only question is if it can manage to take it out or not, if it drops a Draco.
We're going to see a Draco be dropped here. It is enough, luckily, to take the Executor out, so down it goes. But again, I feel like the damage at this point has already been done. It does knock Zeus down to 3 Pokemon as well, which levels the playing field a little bit more. Oh, just knocked my headset. But now the Duraludon is also at -2 special attacks. It's a very, very tough position to be in, especially because Moltres cannot switch into this thing.
Nope, this is a bad spot to be in at -2. At the very least, they can try to Thunder Wave it and maybe hope for a full para. They're going to knock off that Eviolite, which is huge for later on in the game. They really needed that to handle that Luxray.
So he's just firing off a couple of Thunderbolts here. Unfortunately, no full paras here for Al. He definitely needed quite a lot of those in order to sort of slowly muscle his way back into the game. And now the Luxray comes out, which is going to trigger its Flame Orb as well. This thing is at half health, you know. This is very tough because it's like you can't one-shot this Luxray because you're at -2, but you can't switch either because that thing just gets cooked by Supercell Slam.
Yeah, and we already know they're probably going to agility up and, or yeah, Trailblaze even just to be faster than the Moltres. And I think at this point, I don't think there's anything really that Al can do.
Not at all. It was kind of put in a checkmate situation there. Draco Meteor will be dropped once again, but the Duraludon is so weak, right? I believe it's at -4.
Yeah,
just not going to be able to take this Luxray. Yep, need a big crit. We are going to see Grunt, and that's unfortunately enough. So unless we miss this Supercell Slam, we are going to see Zeus advance onto the finals.
Yes, let's see. I mean, I feel like Facade might even kill. I don't know. Or maybe not. Maybe not. Without the Terra, probably not. But I mean, yeah, Supercell Slam, pretty easy.
95% chance for Zeus to land this move, and unfortunately for Al, he does. So Moltres gets 1-hit KO'd. We see one last little glitch of the capture card, and that unfortunately eliminates Al from the season. Definitely very, very good run he had. I think for some people he was even like the favorite to win, or even like the runner-up. But yeah, definitely solid season. And yeah, that brings Zeus as our first finalist here in Season 6. Congratulations.
Very exciting. Some more kills for Executor and Luxray, and we will see you in the finals, my friend. All right, our second semifinals game here, we have Kingbura taking on Anastasia. We've got, Gorp, you're going to have to help me out. What Pattaya Berry, is that the Psychic Resist one on Salazzle?
That is, I think it's Pattaya Berry, yes. Oh, no, Payapa Berry, sorry,
yeah, it's right there in the Italian. Payapa, there we go, okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
So we have free berries on Kingbura's side and also free choice items. So definitely very interesting tech here. Meanwhile, we see the Dunsparce come off the bench once again for Anna, and that Breloom. That Breloom is her first Pokemon there in the party. I really feel like that mod actually has a sick matchup into
Breloom looks incredible.
Yeah, into Kingbura's team. I wasn't there for the semifinals preview, but I do actually think that's Anna's best weapon in this matchup. So very interested to see how this goes. Lead matchup is Dunsparce versus Cobalion. What are we thinking here, Emerald?
Well, you do have to obviously be wary because, notably, the Terra Muck is not here, which means that the Dunsparce is going to be the one to Terra. And Terra Fairy, very solid. I mean, they could also potentially go Terra Ground if they wanted to, because you got to watch out for that Electivire. It's interesting to see that we don't see a Lycanroc, because Lycanroc was the Pokemon that looked fairly good into Anna's team. Of course, there's no Tornadus. Ooh, but a big glare comes off. You gotta watch out for those.
Yep, no, absolutely. Unfortunately for Kingbura, that now leaves his Scarf Cobalion paralyzed on turn 1, which is going to be very difficult to utilize that speed advantage later now. I'm sure it was potentially useful for revenge killing the Breloom or something, but or even Cyclotar actually. But now, gonna switch into Drifblim here. We'll see if the Dunsparce, yep, goes for a Roost. So definitely, again, I feel like Anna has such a big longevity advantage already, and like trading hip damage on the Dunsparce for a big paralysis, and now even on this Drifblim as well.
Yeah, the curse, another glare once again. You know, I hate to say it, there is an Electivire right there that is immune to glare.
I don't think Electivire gets a motor drive boost if it switches into glare, though, does it?
It doesn't need it, though. It just needs to not get paralyzed.
Yeah. Oh no, it doesn't. I'm not saying that, but like I don't think it actually gets a motor drive boost.
I think that he's actually Vital Spirit this game as well, which is interesting.
Oh, okay.
Which makes sense because the Spore.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, but now 2 Pokemon paralyzed is not good for Burr here, you know. You don't like to be slower. You don't like to have the potential to not do anything one turn. As the curse strat is interesting because now that we saw the Dunsparce just switches out, and Drifblim sacrificed a good chunk of his HP to. Yeah, I mean, it did take 25%, but we saw it just roosted it off. So.
Citrus Berry also is only available once, so it doesn't have infinite longevity. Interestingly enough, as well, we see the Cobalion versus Umbreon interaction here, and unfortunately, even though Cobalion in theory very good answer to Umbreon, obviously resists foul play, gets an attack boost for getting hit by it, and immune to toxic. Anna is very well prepared for that thing coming in and just gets some screens, which now makes it very difficult for Kingbura to actually make significant progress here. And against this Hatterene, like, he doesn't really have a way to sort of one-shot this thing, and a potential nuzzle on another Pokemon could be devastating.
Yeah, no, Psychic Things like Lycanroc could be pretty good here, but it is not here. So now they're going to have to try to figure out, I mean, like you said, I mean, this thing gets Nuzzle as well, so I fear that there might be even more paralysis happening. So we just have to be careful about what's going to happen here.
Now the Terra Mind Games begin with this character against the Hatterene, because as soon as Kingbura procs that Terastallization, he will be weak to Hatterene's Psyshock, but until that he's immune to it. But before doing so, he's weak to Draining Kiss, so the Terra timing I think is going to be crucial here. We do see Terra Poison Jab on deck though, so that could potentially allow him to do some good damage to Hatterene and even get a poison. I mean, it's a 30% poison chance. So yeah, we're going to see him go for that, but the Reflect Up, and I believe a physically defensive Hatterene takes it super well, and there's the Nuzzle. 3 Pokemon paralyzed, Emerald. That's so tough.
We do at least have a Lumberry there to cure it, but now you need to figure out, okay, well, are you going to try to do it again? Or, I mean, like we said, we have the Electivire there. Obviously, it would take a good chunk, but at the same time, I mean, you're going to get, yeah, at the very least, maybe send in one of your Pokemon that are already paralyzed. Try to just continue to stall out these turns of screens.
Yeah, that long arrow was absolutely clutch, but of course you only have one of them, so definitely can't switch in again. And now we're going to see Gladion come into Hatterene. You do threaten a heavy slam, but the screens are still up, and Alola could so easily come in and just soak up any of these hits, so... Again, the screens are making it super difficult for Kingbura to make any progress. And we do actually catch the Hatterene with a heavy slam, but hey, Draining Kiss heals all of it almost right back.
Yes, the Draining Kiss and the Leftovers is just keeping this Hatterene around forever. You know, it's interesting because usually you would use screens in combination with a setup sweeper. Anna, in this case, is using them just to make her Pokemon impossible to kill. And just slowly, in a war of attrition, whittle down Kingbura's team bit by bit.
Absolutely. She's definitely taking the defense route and is proving very, very effective so far. I believe all of her Pokemon have taken like almost no chip at this point. Very, very little progress being made for Kingbura, unfortunately. While Kingbura's Pokemon are getting whittled down and obviously being affected with status as well. Now, luckily, Salazzle is now in against this Hatterene, and we do have the Psychic Berry on deck for the Psy-Shock. So we could potentially trade some big hits there if Anna's not expecting it. Because Light Screen also ends... but we'll see if Anna plays it safe. We do catch Hatterene with the big Sludge Wave, but it's not enough Emeralds.
Not quite enough, but still, it gets it in range the next hit.
Absolutely. All right, that's the first big step now in Kingbura's favor, luckily. We are able to go for another Sludge Wave. No Steel types on Anna's side.
That's huge.
Yep. Sludge Wave is free, and the screens are now also gone. So this is the first time that Kingbura feels in the driver's seat a little bit. Let's see how long he's able to keep this up.
Cyclizar does come in, takes a huge chunk of damage, but going to be forced to switch out the Salazzle unless they want to sack it off. And because of its regen, it'll still be able to stay relatively healthy afterwards.
Absolutely. Of course, Cyclizar is definitely much faster than Salazzle, so if we do want to keep it around, we are indeed forced to switch. Let's see how Kingbura responds here, because he does not have like leftovers or anything. So I mean, you could go for Protect, you could scout for what this thing wants to do, but it's not going to avail that much. All right, we are going to go for the Protect, and let's see what Anna reveals here. She goes for Double Edge, so we are dealing with an offensive Cyclizar here.
Well, that is good information to know, because you wouldn't usually expect a Double Edge on a Cyclizar. I'll be honest there.
Well, I mean, I have a nice little quarterfinals win under my belt with Double Edge Cyclizar, so don't underestimate it.
I'm not underestimating. I guess it's just not what I'd run. You know, I guess I'm just too standard to run Double Edge.
I mean, if you spend a whole season with Cyclizar, you got to run it offensive at one point, right? Like,
I'd run offensive, but usually like Temper Flare or Draco or something like that. Ironhead, but yeah, Double Edge is good. Seeing that this Mon has at least 2 normal type moves, they are going to switch in the Drifblim, which is a good idea, bringing it on this thing. But you just got to watch out for what's going to happen after.
We're going to see the Cyclizar now being switched out, of course, as we see a Curse now come off into the Alola. See, very, very valuable chip, but unfortunately Regenerator's going to like just get that right back up. So you got to wonder if Kingbura now wants to go for a Strength Sap on this Alola to potentially get some health back.
Yes, I mean, they could do that, but like, I mean, this Curse strat, you know, while I do appreciate it, you know, into a team with all these Regenerator Pokemon, it's just not going to have the intended effect. Maybe if the team was more offensive and it didn't have some of these pieces like that, obviously, I mean, 25% chip is huge, but at the cost of, like, see, now the Drifblim doesn't have a chance to heal up, so, and look at that Wish, even. We're just getting all types of healing on the opposing side.
Absolutely. We're going to see Curse whittle away a little bit more, but we're still at 2/3 of our health, so we're going to be at almost full health if we do switch back in with that Regenerator. Kingbura now potentially looking to go for a Swords Dance, for some Swords Dance Cacturne action.
Opportunity.
Absolutely, and we do also have Dry Skin on deck, so Anna can actually not Flip Turn. If she wants to switch out, she's going to have to do it manually, which might be risky.
Well, there is another move score that this Alola can use.
Absolutely. Flip Turn is not its only pivoting move, so we'll see if Anna is packing it. She does hard switch out, though.
Yeah, hard switch. Well, free SD.
Yep. We didn't Terastallize, though, so if Anna was actually expecting maybe a Poison Jab there to catch the Alola with a Poison, the Umbreon could have had its Synchronize ability activate and poison the Cacturne, so that would have been huge.
Yes, and so now, I mean, could potentially try to... We got to be careful, I mean, because if you get a Poison Jab Poison, you could potentially get a Synchronize onto your own Cacturne.
absolutely, as we do indeed see Kingbura not choosing the Terrasilizer. There was an interesting dynamic there, because obviously Terra Poison would strengthen Poison Jab, but it would also make you neutral to foul play, which would have obliterated it. So
yeah, choosing to keep his Cacturne alive, smart play.
Yeah, absolutely. Interested to see how he follows up now, though, because this Umbreon is clearly not in range of another Poison Jab.
Just look at the health bars there, Scorp.
Yeah, no, we're not, like, we're technically, we have all Mons alive still, I think, but yeah,
we're all alive, but they're all para'd and below half health, nearly. They do have those bottom three that are stealthy. This is the interesting dynamic, too, with Anna's team, because, yes, they do have the opportunity to set up with, like, the SD Cacturne, but then this Umbreon packing the foul play really disincentivizes any ability to set up with. It's a good thing that they have that Choice Band Electivire, because that's a mon that they really need to use to break through. I just wish that they would be able to bring it in at some point.
Yeah, no, it's a very good point you made there, because I was just about to say the same thing. When we're dealing with a team like this, we need some immediate direct power, you know, and we have a Choice Band Electivire, but unfortunately, we just haven't been able to bring it in quite yet. And, yep, if we did go for that close combat there, the Umbreon would have gone down, but Anna recognizes that easily, and this close combat is absolutely nothing. So, yeah, just once again, keeping it around. And, you know what, I don't want to spoil anything, but if this Hatterene is able to get a wish off on something, we're back to 0.
Yeah, and not back to 0. We're in the red over here for Kingbura, unfortunately. Once again, going to try to get in this Cacturne. Obviously, like we said, it has the dry skin, can stop it from going for the flip turns, to could potentially force a hard switch as the wish comes off, and now they're just going to be able to be free to heal something else up.
Will potentially be devastating. Kingbura, sadly, no grass type move on deck this week for this Alomomola, so the best you could realistically do is either snack up poison with Poison Jab or knock his item off, but I'm interested to see what Anna wants to push up here. I have a feeling who it's going to be, but I guess we'll wait and see in a sec. But now, Kingbura trying to potentially position himself in a way to take advantage of it.
Alright, there's the Poison Jab. Does get a Poison off, which, you know, that's something, but there is the Baton Pass now, as going to be allow them to get safely in the Hatterene, who is going to get all of that health back from that Alomomola.
So much HP.
Alomomola has a very high HP stat compared to Hatterene, which means that this Hatterene is almost back to full.
You know, I don't know about you, Emerald, but if I'm Kingbura in this situation, that's actually very, very damaging for my morale.
That's very discouraging. Big emotional damage there, unfortunately. As they're going to try to, may as well, Terra, get off some big Poison Jab damage. Maybe get a Poison this time. But just do what they can with this Cacturne while they can.
Terra Poison Jab, unfortunately not doing that much though with the Reflect Up, I believe. And Enchantress the Hatterene takes out the Cacturne even with a resisted Draining Kiss. So first Pokemon on Kingbura falls, and you know what? I feel like we're almost about to see like a little roller coaster of like once one Pokemon goes down, I think we're slowly going to start falling
dominoes are starting to fall, Scorp, as we are to have these
that's the analogy
Pokemon.
I was looking for.
Yes, exactly.
That's the analogy I was looking for, thank you.
If I could offer, yes, the Electivire, the Choice Band, that might be their best option, because otherwise, I mean, the Salazzle's almost dead. They've already got 2 Pokemon that are paired. They don't want the Perimery to get nuzzled either, but gonna opt to send in the Drifblim. Maybe try to do what you can here, get some damage off, potentially. But they still have those screens up, so just trying to stall them out and then eventually get the Electivire in. Gonna go for another Curse here. We'll see what happens.
So the Curse does come off, obviously not reflected by Magic Bounce. We are going to be able to get some more chip off on the Hatterene. And, you know, at least the nice thing about Curse is that it's guaranteed damage no matter the screens, right? So at least you're able to now sack off the Drifblim, which was at low HP anyway. Probably going to be difficult to get a Strength Up off in this game now that it's paralyzed. So we're able to do some chip damage on the Hatterene, but potentially force it to switch out, because Curse obviously makes it very awkward to stay in. And allows us to, again, still get valuable chip while the screens are going down slowly. So maybe this is the opening that Kingbura is looking for. At least, like, again, he does get a bit of guaranteed momentum here, I feel.
Yes, no fear of having his Pokemon get nuzzled because it can't kill it. Does some decent... Oh, gets the Para on the opposing side, actually.
The Psyshock does so much damage, though. Hatterene low-key, a lot of people might forget. Very, very high special attack set, actually. So it does knock the Electivire right down, but Reflect does end. This Hatterene is paralyzed. No Custap Berry, obviously, because we saw leftovers. So this might be finally the first KO for Kingbura, unless it gets whisked past a second time in this match, but I don't think so.
Yeah, that curse there was huge. This was the Pokemon to curse, for sure. Getting that 25% guaranteed. So effectively, Drifloon did like 50% to this Hatterene, allowed it to get in range for a young Electivire over here. But they still have 5 Pokemon to try to deal with over there.
Absolutely, this is very tough. Now, Anna's Terra timing on this Dunsparce is actually going to be pretty crucial because we do potentially have, yep, there's the EQ. We do potentially have a Terra Ground boost for that as well. But if we do that, we do become weak to Primarina Sparkling Aria. So going to be very crucial to time that, because if we don't Terrastallize, then Electivire's Thunder Punch stays kind of free, right? So Anna's going to have to be careful not to fumble this lead here against Kingbura's last couple of Pokemon here. I really feel like even though she is at a big advantage, she's not out of the woods just yet.
Yes, I think that Kingbura is playing this, at least he's got his win con here, which is the Scarf Primarina, which at this point, it can basically just spam Moonblast as long as the Pokemon are weak enough. I mean, the Breloom, Moonblast, Cyclizar, Moonblast. Although, I'm not even sure if Choice Scarf Primarina is able to outspeed Cyclizar, though. That's going to be the problem.
Absolutely. Cyclizar is very, very fast. I believe it has like double the speed of Primarina, or at least very close to it. We are able to kill the Dunsparce with Moonblast, though, so that frees up Electivire a little bit. But Breloom and Cyclizar, especially that Breloom, actually, now the Kingbura's team is so weakened, like he's really kind of lost his checks to it. And Alola, I mean, it is definitely very, very frail on the special side without Assault Vest, which we know it's not. So Moonblast is going to really, really hurt, but we'll see if we can still potentially see a Mirror Coat or something come off. But yeah, Kingbura, again, obviously choosing to preserve it as he really needs his Primarina around. The flip turn, yep.
Yeah,
no way to block that.
For that Mirror Coat. Electivire is in. I don't know if it would be better to sack off the Salazzle at that point or not, but I guess either way it was kind of the same. They do have this quick attack though, so at least they'll be able to get some chip, break a potential Focus Sash, which could be huge.
Breloom with Focus Sash actually really, really tough to deal with. That honestly could have been a game on the spot right here if the Kingbura didn't have the quick attack to break that potential Sash. So very, very important we break that. Mark Punch is revealed though, so Electivire does go down. And Salazzle is undoubtedly in range of that, so Primarina is now the sole carrier of Kingbura's hopes of making it into finals against 4 of Anna's Pokemon. Yep.
Now they do have to be really wary because they have 2 Pokemon. I mean, well, I'm not sure if the Alomola has, let me see, it has Wish, Baton Pass, Flip Turn. I'm not sure if it's carrying Knockoff or not. But Cyclizar, we know, likes to run knockoff, so they need to try to hopefully keep this Scarf if they can.
And it would appear that the Breloom is not Scarf, so this Scarf on Primarina right now is everything. We are going to see Umbreon come in and get knocked out here, so that's huge. So we're now 3 Pokemon down, and if Alomola doesn't have Flip Turn, it's actually kind of all going to come down to Cyclizar. So Cyclizar does indeed come in, and we need a big hit off on this Primarina, or we need to get rid of its Scarf, because we can't get rid of this Scarf. Kingbura can actually bring this back.
Yeah. If the Scarf stays on, I think it's just a win for Kingbura. If the Scarf gets knocked off, then it's Breloom time.
Absolutely, and we do unfortunately see the knockoff come off. I'm not sure if that, again, means that Cyclizar was just so naturally fast that Primarina couldn't outspeed even with a Scarf, or if there were some weird EVs there. I don't believe the Cyclizar itself is Choice Scarf, which, funnily enough, I actually thought in the moment of watching the game the first time. But we know it's not because it switched up moves. But yeah, now that the Scarf is gone, unfortunately, I mean, we're going to see the Bullet Seed come off, and unless it's only... it doesn't... Even 2 hits is enough. Yep, that's
even 2 hits is enough. That's huge for Breloom. Yep. The power of Technician boosted, my friend.
Yes, sir. And kind of as we alluded to earlier, Breloom very, very tough in this matchup. Not Choice, so it is in range of Mark Punch, and that knocks Salazzle down. Congratulations, Anastasia, for making the finals. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's 2 amazing semi-finals matches out of the way, and there are your 2 finalists for BHDL Season 6.
There Crazy. We go. All right, and with that, we now have our finals matchup. We have Zeus versus Anastasia. What do we think, Scorp?
Definitely very, very interesting. I think, like we said in the previous recap, I do believe Al and Kingbura were our favorites to win, at least in terms of matchup anyway. So this is a big upset. Seed number 7 versus seed number 8 in the BHDL Season 6 finals. Both coaches worked very, very hard to get here, put on an amazing show in these last two battles against their respective opponents. So yeah, very, very excited for this matchup actually. And yeah, can't stress enough, congratulations to both of them for making it.
Yes, and you know, it is interesting too, because I don't know if you've heard about this, Scorp, but I've heard people talk about like in the draft order, right? That the last seed, for some reason statistically, has been proven more likely to do well in draft, and Anna is the last seed of this draft league, or the last in the draft order, and here she is at the finals, so I guess it gives credence to that.
Interesting. Maybe the wheel pick really is that powerful, even in the league with 16 coaches.
I mean, those defensive cores, man. And Zeus is interesting because they have arguably one of the worst spots. They're like number 7, right near the middle, and even they've been able to overcome. I tell you what.
Absolutely, props to them. I know we said in the power rankings video that his team wasn't exactly stellar. I believe I personally ranked it as like a D or a C tier team.
Yeah, I think
he
you
definitely
wanted
did
to
make
put
some
it in the D
transactions.
tier. I think the other guys were like, let's make it C.
Yeah, no, there was definitely some synergies that I missed there. I definitely was wrong to say D tier. I'm fully able to admit that. But definitely, I still don't think like fundamentally it's the best team in the world. But Zeus has undoubtedly shown and shocked the world how effectively he can pilot it. Maybe he's just really, really comfortable with those Pokemon, and like especially in a format as long as Draft League, there's nothing more important than being comfortable with the Pokemon you're piloting. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, for sure. And we can take a look here at the kill leaderboard. The Luxray has now reached 20 kills officially, but in order to surpass Lunala, he's going to need to get 5 kills in this next game.
5 more kills. I mean, I very, very highly doubt that the Luxray will be able to pull off against Anastasia what it's been doing all regular season. She is most definitely going to be ready for it. But still, to see a Luxray, a Pokemon that, you know, for any false swipe gaming viewers out there, gets memed a lot for being a terrible Pokemon, seeing it do this well in Draft League is definitely not only very sort of indicative of, you know, a low tier Draft League season here, but also sort of tribute to Zeus' ability to pilot it well, and just his abilities as a coach in general.
Yep, it's huge. Either way, it has officially locked down the what's it called? It's locked down the mascot position, so Luxray will officially be the mascot going into season 7, which is big. That's huge.
Absolutely, definitely. You know, a really, really cool leaderboard we have going on here. Obviously, it's not going to change much. Lots of really cool Pokemon. We do see a couple of like round 1 picks or close to round 1 picks. Obviously, Primarina and Tauros Blaze were very, very strong. All these coaches have seen great success with these Pokemon, and Chris even has 2 of them. Obviously, the Gladion and the Zoroark. So really, really cool to see this, especially after the dominance of Ubers and powerful Terra Captains last season. But yeah, definitely cool strats for these Pokemon. And yeah, definitely marks sort of the, I mean, I think we're going to talk about this later, but end of an era for BHDL, you know, after the different dynamics of the Ubers League and the low tier season here.
Yes, indeed. And I mean, with that, I mean, there's not much else to say. I mean, we will be having a full breakdown of this Zeus versus Anastasia match going up shortly after this video, so be sure to check that out for our full thoughts. And yeah, anything else, Scorp?
Not really. I wish both of these coaches good luck in the finals. Again, definitely go check out the finals analysis that will be going up shortly after this. We're going to have a full breakdown of what our thoughts on the matchup are, who we think is favored to win, and who indeed will be taking home the trophy here in BHDL Season 6. The battle gets played tomorrow. As of recording this, we are on Saturday. The battle itself is on Sunday. But yeah, tomorrow, like these are the Emerald. These are the last 24 hours for me as the reigning champion in the league. After this, we're gonna have a new one.
That's crazy. Insane.
Yep. I've been at the top for 2 whole seasons. Obviously, winners season 4 and season 5, but all good things must come to an end. And I mean, unfortunately, I wasn't there to defend my title this season, but
somebody's got it.
These coaches will definitely, exactly. Yeah, these coaches will have definitely deserved it. Like they played their asses off this season, and I'm not even upset. Like on the opposite, or sorry, on the contrary, I'm very very excited to see who is our new Battle Hub Draft League Season 6 champion.
Yes, be sure to check the channel back tomorrow evening. That's going to be when this game is going to be uploaded in your traditional Fontaine style, thanks to Zeus.
Absolutely. Thank you, Zeus, for grabbing that tripod and recording that for us. We're all very, very excited to see this game. And yeah, I think I've said this about 15 billion times now, but good luck to both of you.
Yes, all right. Good luck tomorrow, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Peace.